Hello, the internet. All right, I'm gonna dial in. I'm gonna lock in on this one. Talking about Mass Effect again. I finished the third game, and honestly, playing Mass Effect has become a bit of a hobby of mine. By hobby, I mean addiction. But I am getting better. I am getting better because I finished my first playthrough that I've played through Mass Effect in a while. Like I said last time, I talked about Mass Effect 2. The last time I played Mass Effect was about 2000 fucking something or other. And I was in high school at the oldest. And, high school Cody missed everything, all right? High school Cody was an idiot who didn't understand anything at all and had no opinions on things as a result. So, I like playing it the first time, though. It's fun. Fun gameplay. I think the gameplay is really fun. But I don't know if I had too many thoughts about the implications of the Mass Effect story. But I gotta say, I'm really glad that I replayed these games. Especially in the Legendary Edition, I think that whole bundle is, like, crazy cool, okay? I think that those three games in particular, and, there's this, like, sort of mechanic where you can transfer your save from the end of Mass Effect 1 to Mass Effect 2 to Mass Effect 3. So all your consequences throughout the whole series are, like, compounding, and that is so cool. It is just such a cool thing to watch, and you get to kind of, like, watch, your Shepard, every playthrough, have these, decisions and consequences and everything like that. So, the playthrough that I did last time was not really like Paragon or Renegade. I leaned more Paragon because what I've come to realize, I started a Renegade playthrough. What I've come to realize about the Paragon options is that they're just the only options that make any good sense. Like the devs will talk about how, like, when they do the numbers, because they actually saw when people would import from Mass Effect 1 to Mass Effect 2, the developers actually, like, saw what people chose, and apparently, like, 92% of people went with Paragon. And the thing that's really, like, not shocking about that is it's like, yeah, because most of the times that's the only intelligent option you can pick. Right? A good example is in Mass Effect 2, there's a Quarian who you meet on your first mission to the first colony that you are trying to investigate why it went missing. And this Quarian has gone insane because the Collectors broke his mind, right? And so you have the Quarian, and you need to make the decision about whether or not you hand the Quarian back to Tali to go with the other Quarians so he can, like, receive treatment for his mental well-being, or you have to bring him back to Cerberus so he can be interrogated, even though it's pretty clear he doesn't know that much. And so the Paragon option is, like, logically, yeah, just send him back to the fleet, keep Talia as your friend, and, like, what the hell was Cerberus gonna do with this guy anyway? And then the stupid Renegade option is, no, Tali, we're bringing the Quarian in for questioning. And then you bring him in, and then the Elusive Man talks to you the next time you see him, and he's like, yeah, that Quarian knew nothing, so we sent him back to the fleet. And it's like, why? Why did I even do this? What was the point? What was it? Like, you just get sent back to the fleet anyway. Huh? What? Oh. Other than, you just make Tali a little bit angry. And I think that when I was in high school, by and large, the ending of the third game was really despised. I remember back when I was a younger boy. Back when I was in high school. And, I didn't really have thoughts like that at the time. I was kind of playing a video game. But, I think a lot of people felt, to a certain extent, that the choices they had made throughout the games were, like, robbed from them, to a degree, by the fact that at the end of the third game, you basically have the option to create an explosion of 3 different colors, right? And I actually really disagree with that reading of the game. Like, are you wrong that, like, you're not wrong in the sense that, like, yes, ultimately, if you're going to be, like, super reductive about it, at the end of Mass Effect 3, you're given the option between a red explosion, a blue explosion, and a green explosion. Like, you're not wrong, okay? That's very true. But it's also, to a certain extent, like, symbolically, what do the explosions say about the universe that you create afterwards, right? Because the red explosion is the choice to wipe out all synthetic life. The blue explosion is to harness manipulative control and take away agency of all synthetic life, and especially the Reapers. And then the green option is to, in a sense, integrate synthetic organisms with organic organisms. And so especially after having played through it this last time, and also while appreciating the fact that, like, there are certainly decisions that you make in the trilogy that you can, like, feel have a compound impact, right? There's, like, the Rachni Queen, there's whether or not Rex lives, which even, actually, Rex is a funny one, too, because that's not really a decision that you get to make anyway, right? If you know that you need to play through Rex's loyalty mission and get that family armor in the first game, then you can save him and save yourself some trouble with the Krogan maybe down the line to a certain extent. But, like, for example, if you don't know that you need to get Rex's armor to keep him from getting killed in the first game, he gets killed because it's of a decision that you didn't even know you could make, kind of thing. So, I don't know. I just think that ultimately there are a number of decisions throughout these games that are kind of like, you get shunted into one direction or another, and it doesn't really matter if you're evil or good about it, right? The Quarian is a great example where it's like, you can make the decision to hold on to the Quarian and interrogate him, but at the end of the day, he still gets sent back to the migrant fleet, right? So they're whether you're good or bad about it is just, like, kind of salad dressing, right? And I just think that, like, so when you're talking about decisions like this Quarian thing, like, I can see the complaint there. But when you're talking about at the end of the game, it's like, one, like, what do you think they were gonna program? Like, how, like I don't even know how you would go about developing truly a video game that tells, like, really just, like, one central story, but like fully goes all these alternate paths and stuff, right? Like, the whole game is centered around the Crucible. The whole game is centered around... I will say, I did watch a very compelling video about how the second Mass Effect game really didn't help the third, in the fact that, like, it didn't help set up a cure to the Reapers, it didn't help set this, that, or the other thing up. And, I can appreciate that there are definitely some things that maybe could have been better about the end of the third game. But I do have to, I think I just wanted to give some respect to the games. I was compelled by the final choice you made. Okay? Since that moment, I've been listening to more videos about Mass Effect, and there actually is a theory called the indoctrination theory that actually says that the options where you choose to control the Reapers or blend synthetic and organic life are actually indicative of Shepard having been indoctrinated but not knowing it, which is an interesting way to look at it. And I guess, one of the main thing I really just wanted to say with this video is that I liked the ending of Mass Effect 3. I chose the green explosion, which might mean that Shepard was indoctrinated. And for the current playthrough that I'm going through, it's a Renegade playthrough. And this time I think I'm going to go with the red explosion. See what kind of cutscene that gets me at the end. And also, like, I don't know. I just think that, like, the other thing about the games is, like, whether or not it ends with one explosion or the other, it's like, you still have so much agency on how much you explore the characters around you, right? Which are ostensibly the world around you. And I just don't believe in tossing the baby out with the bathwater, where even if you don't think the ending necessarily gives you a lot of choice, like, I can tell you, I've seen a version of the game where, like, Shepard can't call anybody at the end of the third game when he's about to go on like a suicide mission because all the people that he likes are gone. That's pretty substantial, you know. So, anyway, that's my thoughts on Mass Effect 3. I think I got one more video on me, and then this video cluster will be done. So, yeah, catch me tomorrow. Catch me tomorrow. We'll see. I don't even know what I'm going to talk about for that video. Maybe parking. All right, peace out. Peace out. Have a good day. Have a good night. Have a good evening.